And welcome back to Retrospect My Fantasy, where we are currently taking a look at the Final Fantasy franchise from beginning to end, and we're on installment number 10. Now, before we get into the game, we've got one announcement to go over, and that is that we are only 10 followers away from reaching our goal of 50, the big 5-0, at which point we'll have ourselves a bonus stream and giveaway. Now, I'm going to talk about this more at the end of the stream, so if that sounds kind of interesting, if sounds like something you might be wanting to take part in, stick around and I'll talk about more about it later. Now, last time on Final Fantasy X, we came into the Calmlands. And then we learned about capturing monsters. And then we learned about racing chocobos. And then we caught some monsters, and then we left through the northeast exit, according to the map. At which point we were attacked by some Guado, except they really didn't want to fight us themselves, so they brought this big old golem to fight us. After that, we explored a little bit, and I came back in here and did a whole bunch of capturing, actually. Not much in the way of, like, what you would call normal, traditional grinding, but a lot of capturing. Good work. Yeah. Oh, dang it. Wrong one. Oh, well. Whatever. Not a big deal. Fortunately, we can't capture these little robot guys. But we've captured a couple Marlboros. We've captured a bunch of Chimera Brains. What else have we gotten? Anacondoids, or whatever the heck the giant petrifying serpent guys are called. And no, they're not basilisks, which is really what they should be, considering they turn us into stone with a gaze. But I mean, games, am I right? Oh, also important note, about to sneeze. Whew, sorry about that. I have done a little bit of customization when it comes to weapons. Finally, and that is only on, I think I want to say it, Titus. These capture weapons.
That's how it's done.
I'll go ahead and pull them up and let you see what these new things do. So, Titus has evade encounter, which means when he evades, he counters, and he's got a pretty good dodge chance, so that's good. Piercing, so he can get through armored enemies pretty quickly, and then strength plus 10%, so just a good solid hit. Means we can use these in other areas as well and capture monsters there. Now we're only missing one from this entire zone, in terms of at all. There's something here that we just haven't seen. And I certainly do not recall at all what it is. But that's okay. How much money do we have? 100,000? Good. Good. So good. Because we're gonna need it. We're about to get a dear friend of mine onto the team. And once we do, it will be, nope. No, not extract. Delay attack. There we go. Perfect. Now it's dead. It never even had a chance.
Let's go.
So how are you guys doing on this fine Friday evening? Any of you playing, or planning on playing the new Dragon Ball Z game? Show me the fiends I've captured so far. Just one creature that I don't... And it's somewhere in the... I don't know. And no, we haven't done any Blitzball yet, which we should really get on. If nothing else, then at least acquiring our team. But really what this comes down to is a couple of other things. So, starting Monday, I'm going to have a poll of which characters... I'm going to limit it to... I don't know... 4? Yeah, 4 sounds good. Which 4 characters, ultimate weapons, should we go after? And then I'm going to put that... I was going to say in Twitter, but can't do that because Twitter only allows 4 options in their surveys. Alright, got a couple of good hits on them. And then... Orin will take the Corral. Good. Blammo. Perfect. A solid hit on the Corral. It's good. And it's gone. I really am not looking forward to capturing a whole bunch of Marlboros, by the way. But of course, while we were doing all that stuff, we also got some levels. Zombie attack. It's not really worth it. Ooh, Waka. You becoming strong boy. I don't recall if we have to capture all of them in this zone before we can start capturing them in other zones or not. So... we'll just go, and if it says that we're capturing them, great, we'll just keep these weapons and keep pushing on and see how far we can go.
Enough.
Aw, apparently that's enough. We should also get let's check out Kumari's. Wait, let's first... do that, and then that. Okay. Customize. Sensor, piercing. I could do another evade and counter, but do I really... not really. No. Don't have any of what it takes to get a higher strength one. So you know what? We'll go with piercing. And then we'll actually pull Kumari in instead of Orin, because Kumari has a better stat progression going forward than Orin does. Overall, that is. Alright, so what we're supposed to do next is go across this bridge here and go up to Mount Gagazet. That's not what we're going to do, however. We're going to go down this path. And into this horrible, horrible cave. And we are definitely going to save here. Apparently Riku just wants to run in.
Where are we?
The faith is inside,
What faith?
as are the fiends.
Hey, this where...
Where? What?
The summoner I guarded on my first pilgrimage died here. Yuna, let's go. The faith awaits.
Oh, okay. Not going to elaborate on that, are you? Ambushed. Hey, we can capture him. Good.
It's over.
God dang, these things hit kind of hard. Hopefully they're going to give us some good XP to compensate. All right. Ooh. Hey, Lulu, could you come take care of these? Would they have no real weakness? Aside from physical. Ah, shit. Forgot to equip it. Ow. And we'll hit this one. Oh, man. Dark element captured. Bring Waka out here. He'll take it. Actually, that wasn't bad. Good job, Waka. Good job. That was very solid work, gentlemen. Oh, wait, weren't there fire elementals on the Calmlands that we never actually fought against? Nidhogg, huh? Well, we hit him up pretty hard. Oh, F you. Okay. Come on, Waka, bring it home. I mean, that was a good hit, but not good enough.
Take that.
Good work. Oh, really? Abilities. That's what I want. Now I can actually start catching back up to Riku. On her own tree. Hey, Kasan. I go well. How you doing? I don't like you. We should... Oh! Ah ha ha! Woo! That hurt. It's a good thing I've got plenty of these Albed potions that I can't buy anywhere. Charging for what? Well, you don't seem to have an ability that I can steal. Not what I had in mind, but it's fine. Valaha. I got a flexible arm out of that. Damn. Before my arms were rigid. Kind of a creepy place there, Riku.
What's a faith doing in a place like this?
Whatever it wants.
Don't ask me.
They say it was stolen from a temple long ago.
Huh?
With no faith, summoners cannot train. Without training, they cannot call the final Aeon.
That's true.
Without the final Aeon, they cannot defeat sin. That is why.
Seems like a plan.
'Cause then the summoner won't die.
That must be what the thief was thinking.
Or...
I kind of agree with him.
What was there to agree about? Orin laid it out pretty straight there. There wasn't a whole lot of equivocating in his voice. A Yowie monster. Not to be confused with Yowie. Sorry, there's like a fly or maybe a mosquito or... I don't know what the hell it is, but it's a tiny little flying bug. Ooh! Magic pot! That gives elixirs as opposed to taking them away. Okay. Oh, neat. got the wrong one. Well, magic pots in the previous games, you know, they requested elixirs from you. Sometimes a lot. And then they would give you a whole bunch of AP when experience or AP or whatever they were for that game. And go away. Most notably in 5, I want to say. There's a tower that's just full of them. And each one, randomly, when you walk up to it and actually start the battle, will decide how many elixirs it can take. Anywhere between 1 and 10. And elixirs are not something you can buy in that game. Ever. So... yeah. It can get bad fast. Which is why, if you're smart, you save in front of each one. Ho ho ho. And then, you know, do it over and over again until it only costs you 1. I, however, did not do that. I let one snow me for 6. Most of them were only like 1 or 2. But, yeah, one of them got me pretty good. Oh, thank you for the Albed Potion, sir. Your custom is most appreciated. I was starting to run low on Albed Potions. It's good to know I can come here and pick them up. Okay. This way it is then. Alright, well... a stamina tablet, that's good. Well, at least... yeah, at least Waka will survive. I knew that much. Alright. Ooh, a fortune sphere. Those are very rare at this point in the game. Okay. And there's no real indication of which one, which eye, at least not any indication that I've ever found. Wrong. Yeah. They never did that in any of the other ones. So that's kind of annoying, but... I was kind of hoping he would just continuously throw elixirs at me, to be honest. F. Doom, huh? I think so. Hey, F you. Oh, I was hoping he would randomly have selected to put it on Waka again. That would not have overridden Waka's one turn left to live, but it would have been funny. It's a great game, especially the new one. I mean, I haven't played it, but that's what everyone says. It's an ability I'll never use, because the enemies that are susceptible to it are usually not ones that I care enough to actually use it on. Yuna's getting pretty low on that MP. Maybe if my people weren't, you know, getting messed up all the time. Ooh, 2 Mega Potions. And I'm getting there on the Albed Primers. We've almost mastered... Ah, F. F, 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 F. Titus has learned Slice and Dice. I mean, it's not fire, but hey, I'll take it right now. I've already gotten bad breath, so I don't need to worry about that. Oh, thank God. Thank God he did not use bad breath. Whew. They come early in this game, and I hate it so much. I mean, it's not like early in the game, but it's earlier than they would appear normally in a Final Fantasy game, by comparison to the amount of time we have remaining. Yep, that's about the best way I can put that.
Pat, another Guado fiend? No, an unsent.
Yep.
It is. It's you, is it not, Lady Ginham? Forgive me. I was too young.
Oh. Her icy heart melts. A little. Oh. She just dispelled the summoning.
There is no human left in you now, is there? Very well then.
Dispel is not going to
Allow
continue
me
to work on
fulfill my
us.
last duty to you. My last as your guardian.
Dispel only works when we have positive status effects up. Oh, F me. Okay. He has nothing to steal. Well, shit. Hey, Staga! Daigoro. Correct. What I want to know is, knowing how this summon works, how is she getting him to do his thing? You'll find out soon enough when we actually get to the point where we can use him. Which is very soon here. Oh, hey Staga, so useful. Ah, we can't capture Yojimbo. I hope not. I've always used this strategy. I mean, usually I have real weapons, not capture weapons, but that's usually how I beat him is, hey Staga,
Strange.
smash him in the face as quickly as possible.
Sadder somehow. Maybe I've gotten used to farewells.
I don't think I've ever seen him get up to
Stronger now.
his ultimate, so his overdrive.
Waka, I hope you're right. You know, the faith is inside. Go do what you came to do.
I certainly hope not, because otherwise... Yeah, what's this way? Not a mimic. Good. Because that was pretty much what I was most afraid of. And yes, there are mimics in this game. I recall them being much later in the game, but they do exist. Alright, so obviously we can go many directions. Back is to the entrance, but that's not where we want to go. How much money do we have? 120,000? Good. That's very good. We may need it all. God, if he can Zanmato during that fight against him, all of our characters are susceptible to death. So why did you run up? For all you know, this is how it always goes. You've never been in the room when she's contacted a faith before.
I am the blade of vengeance. They dare only whisper my name. Yojimbo. Summoner, I ask you, what do you want of me? If you desire my strength, you must pay my price.
No problem.
Make your offer.
He's asking for 300,000. Well,
You expect a phoenix, yet you offer chicken feed. No deal.
yep. So, $300,000. We're about a third of the way there. Ooh. Oh, F you guys. Yep. So, we essentially have two options. We can either spend this entire episode grinding so we can try and get enough money to... Wow. Wow. Oh, Waka, you're back. Thanks. Now we're all gonna get... Because we are never given an indication in one way or another whether or not, like, after all these battles, does Yuna just run in and perform a sending to send all these fireflies to the far place? God damn! We don't know. We're never given an indication of that, so we can only presume no unless they tell us otherwise. Mother effer. Really? Well, poor my whole team. They're all gonna die. Okay, hey, Titus, would you like to come back, please? And maybe hurt one of these things in a meaningful way? Alright, hey, one of them's down. I think you saw it all. I'm trying to think, but pretty sure you saw every bit of it. Well, I mean, any summoner can have any faith. So, I mean, in theory, considering he has gotten to the point where he has God, why can't I think of the summon's name? Maester Seymour presumably has Yojimbo. Because he's gotten all the way to where he has big scary fish zombie monster. Can't remember its name. Because mother effer. Oh. Not exactly what I wanted, but I guess I'll take it. Hey. Kamari, could you... Yeah, it does not require being able to see. Haha. I can lance it without vision. Although you're going to kill me. Well, I mean, if Lulu was her only guardian, we can make the assumption, because she says she was young and not strong enough, that she wasn't able to protect her, and somehow Lulu got out. Probably the summoner sacrificed herself to save Lulu. Her guardian and probably friend. I mean, I'm making a lot of assumptions here. None of that is told to us. But we have to work with what we've got, right? Oh, thank Christ, that's over. I mean, we always talk about these summoners, and they're really powerful characters, right? But, like, some summoners quit their job. Why? We don't know. So we've got 122,000. Some summoners just decide to stop. And presumably, some summoners die along the pilgrimage because they're not strong enough to complete it. I mean, it's supposed to be like this big arduous thing, so I'm making assumptions because that's all I can do at this point. But yes, let me ride my chocobo. Why don't I have a special chocobo whistle? Queh. Alright, man. So far you've collected 8 from the Comlands. Yes, I know. God, what is this last one that I need to collect? Alright. Just a second. Monsters to collect in the Calmlands. Alright, so we've got the Skull, the Nebros, the Flan, the Shred. There's an Ogre in here somewhere. Corel, Chimera Brain. Yes, well, anyone who dies and doesn't get sent, their souls become the fiends. Oh, yeah! The big Wendigo-looking motherfucker. Alright, so where did we fight him last? Because that's the area that we need to go towards, so we can complete this, so we can move on to the ones we need. As far as we know, because all the fiends in an area are the same, they kind of just hang out in the same area. It's another one of those very good questions that there really isn't an answer to, unfortunately. Trying to think of, like, what else could we discern from the storyline thus far that would allow us to make an educated guess on this scenario. The only other thing that I could think of is if, like, the fiend's hatred is strong enough and it might be able to grow in strength and move around, but that's about the best that I've got in that arena. I think we fought the Wendigo over in this area. I guess that's an ogre. But it looks like a Yeti, except it's brown. So I guess it would actually be a Sasquatch. But nope, ogre. Alright. Now time to get rid of a very annoying enemy type. These jellies, flans, whatever, slimes are just annoying. IMO. Come here, Chocobo. It's not the right noise. It's not a quay, and it is... Or, sorry, it's not a wark, and it's certainly not a quay. But then we also have, like, Machina that run around and fight. They don't fight the fiends. Which is what I would expect. I mean, like, these leftover Machina, like, their job was to fight other cities and whatnot. But I'm sure they were also designed to fight fiends and protect the cities from any attacker. So you'd think they would just run around killing, like, attempting anyway, to kill fiends. But when a fiend's dead, we see the Pyreflies leave it. So what does that mean? Does it... Do we need to send it? Should we... I don't know. Just have, like, summoners hanging around areas constantly performing sending rites? Like, what's the deal on all this? Because if fiends are made from when people die, but we don't send the Pyreflies from the fiends, how do those Pyreflies make it to the far plane and not become fiends anymore? It's a very complicated situation that only makes a certain amount of sense. It kind of falls apart when you look at it. Like, it's a very flimsy justification for why there's monsters all over this world. Aside from just being, yeah, you're killing wild animals. And this world has very weird animals that can cast magical spells and are brazen enough to just randomly run up and attack people. Yeah, that's my presumption as well. And we're not given anything to suggest otherwise. So why not just have a bunch of summoners hanging around areas, or people trained as summoners but have decided to quit the job? No, you're totally accurate. But if a summoner feels that they're not strong enough to complete the pilgrimage, I mean, clearly they still have something that they can contribute to their world, right? They know how to perform the sending ritual. And presumably some of them stay in whatever town, and that's like their whole job, right? Their job is that when someone dies of old age or blood poisoning or whatever, they perform a sending. But we've run into four other summoners. Granted, one of them was Seymour, and not a good guy who wanted to, you know, stop people from going to the far, or that would help in that endeavor. But we've met what's-her-name and Bartello. Donna and Bartello. And then we met, what's-his-name with his brothers. Let's see here. And then we just met a dead summoner. and we met Waka Waka's first summoner, who decided to quit and become a priest. Presumably he still knows the sending ritual. And still has contact with the faith. Because, well, you don't just really lose that. At least I hope summoners don't just like randomly lose the ability to summon when they quit being summoners. Although, we're not going to play it. But if you take Final Fantasy X-2 into account, Yuna did lose her ability to... Oh no, that's right, because all the summons... Spoiler alert. At the end, we have to kill all of our summons. That way none of them become the new body for Sin. Because I was about to say something where, like, Yuna forgot how to summon, but no, she didn't. All the summons are dead. At least all the summons that you have with you. So Ifrit, Shiva, Bahamut, all these classic summons should be dead. What I don't recall is whether or not there are summons in Final Fantasy X-2, because I only got about a third of the way through the game before I lost a battle and my characters died, and I specifically did not save that game because I did not care enough. They don't. I don't recall. I did not get very far in the game before I quit playing, because I decided, when I borrowed that game from a friend, that all I was going to do was play it until I had a game over screen or until I beat it, whichever happened first. I never shut it off, I never created a save. And I got, from what I understand, about a third of the way through the game before I got a game over screen on a boss fight. And then that was that, and I gave it back to my friend. Yeah. In fact, knowing what I know about this world, what we just discussed, I would be upset even more with X-2 if they had summons. I mean, X-2 is clearly a game of pandering. And this is why I'm not going to play it. Among a few other reasons. It's a game for pandering. That's all it is. Did you kind of like 10? Like, the world of 10 is kind of neat. No, I am not playing X-2. And the reason is not because I don't play bad games. I mean, I played 8, and I hate 8, and I think it's a terrible game. Nope, because then we would have had to have played After Years. And we didn't play After Years. It's because they're not Final Fantasy games. I like 10. I have a little bit of a burnout with 10. Ah, here he is. But that's my own damn fault. I didn't have to play it as much as I did back in the day. I could have done other things with that time as opposed to just continuously playing 10 until I had what felt like a perfect file. Nose! Stop itching. Alright, well. Still nowhere near that 300,000. I might be at the end of the weekend, but by then we'll have pushed far enough forward that coming back might be a pain in the butt. Chimera brains. Hate these things. No, 10-2 I'm not going to play for a couple reasons. One, it's not a mainline Final Fantasy game. Just like the MMOs are not mainline Final Fantasies. Two, it is the beginning of what me and my friends joke about of Square forgetting how to count. Correct. Just like when we finally get to the Elder Scrolls series, I'm not going to be doing, I'm going to do 1 and 2, and then, or Arena, then Daggerfall, and then go to Morrowind, as opposed to going to Arena, Daggerfall, and then that middle one, whose name I always forget. And, in that same vein, I'm not going to play New Vegas when we do Fallout. Even though I personally effing love New Vegas and think it is way better than Fallout 3. Just because it's not part of the mainline franchise. Now, we can do some bonus streams later that play some of these sidequill games. Although I'm not a fan of 10-2 for... I believe 10-2 is a source of pandering that is designed solely for the purposes of capitalizing on 10's popularity. Slash, they weren't ready to put out 11 or 12, so they made a game up. They made a game using the same assets as quickly as they could, or as many of the same assets as quickly as they could, and shoved it out the door. After Years, I don't like for a different reason. I only played a little bit of After Years, but I got to that reason very quickly. The story of Final Fantasy IV is over. There's nothing within that world that I loved so much that not having a primary conflict... Like, why would these characters go back to it? Oh, I did not touch Crisis Core or Dirge of Cerberus either. Though from what I understand, Crisis Core is a very good game. And if that's your thing, go ahead, go play it. I hear it's great. I'm not interested. Mainly because I don't like the world that they set up, or the storylines that Square likes to set up in these sidequels. Sometimes they'll offer like a decent story point or two, but they're mainly just trying to cash grab. You've caught all the fiends of the Comlands. Now I can reopen the arena. Oops, I almost forgot. Here's a token of my appreciation for your hard work. I don't know if you have it. I have what it takes to open it, though. Oh. I have been researching specimens you brought from the Comlands and created a nasty beast. Want to take it for a swing? First fight's free. Alright. Let's see if we've got what it takes. It's immune to sleep. Well, F this noise. 7,000 damage in a hit. Let's hope it can't, Let's hope it can't, Aqua Breath us. Okay. Well, here we go. Yeah, so on top of the monsters that we bring him, this guy also just makes a bunch of random monsters. And they're all miserable. Every single one of them is hell on earth for whatever level you're at. Nope, not Mega Phoenix. Oh, that was some good hits we got in on there. Not good enough, but hey. A few good hits can do the trick, eventually. Nope, there goes the team. Really? Wow, Kamar, you are way more resilient than I gave you credit for. Your magic defense is pretty good, honestly. Pretty damn good. God dang it, really? Alright. I have a feeling this enemy's got like 200,000 hit points or something like that. Well, there's an easy way for us to find out. Hey, Lulu, come here. Oh, is he now? Well, let's try just casting Bio on him and see how far that gets us. F. He's immune to it. Well, we'll just take the hits then. It's just easier this way. What? You lost? Guess you're just not up to scratch. Try hunting around Mushroom Rock Road. I got a feeling some fantastic fiends lurk in the shadows there. Alright, so... Stolen Faith Cavern. We're missing one enemy there. Chimera Geist. F you, old man. Oh, god dang. Yeah, he messed us up. But that's kind of the deal with those monsters. Alright, so next we go to Lulu. Let's pull Titus back in. Gagazette. Which is a very important place for us to go and do well. Very well. God, by comparison, these Chimera Brains are, like, Easy. We've already reached our capture limit. Why did we do that? Alright, so we need more Marlboros. We need more of the ogres. And I think we've full up on everything else for the Calmlands, which is kind of nice. It means when we eventually come back here super ripped out of our gourds, you know, like totally like hitting the juice, sort of ripped, we can just walk through the enemies and get the few that we need that are left and be done with it. Which actually won't be very long. Once we get full access to the airship and can go wherever we wish, our characters will be strong enough that we can walk through every encounter on the Calmlands, even the Marlboros. So, it'll be nothing. Alright, Gagazette. I challenge you to totally not a duel. And hey, we're about halfway to being able to offer our services to Yojimbo.
Sometimes Yuna would just stare off into the distance. I finally understood why.
Did you?
She was saying goodbye to the places she'd never see again.
Aha, you do understand. That's good. Alright, to Gagazette. Okay. Aha!
Summoner Yuna and Guardians, leave here at once.
No.
Gagazet is Ronso land, sacred mountain of Yevon. The mountain will not bear the footsteps of infidels.
Well, that's too bad.
Enemy of Yevon is enemy of Ronso. Leave, traitors!
I have cast aside Yevon. I follow the temple no more.
Then you will die by those words.
Will she?
So be it. Yevon has warped the teachings and betrayed us all.
Nothing but a bunch of low-down tricksters, eh?
Wow, you came around on that rather easily, Waka.
We have no regrets.
Blasphemers!
You are a very small Ronso.
Summoner and her guardians.
Lord Kelgranso, if I may. Have you not also turned your back on Bevel?
But still, you guard Gagazet as a Ronso, not a Maester. Yuna is much the same.
Elder Kelk! Let Biran rend them asunder! No escape! Not one!
No, we will not flee. We will fight and continue on.
I don't recall.
You have been branded a traitor, but still you would fight sin. Lost
That is our
to the
job.
temple, hated by the people, yet you continue your pilgrimage?
Yeah.
Everything lost. What do you fight for?
Peace?
I fight for Spira. The people long for the calm. I can give it to them. It's all I can give.
So,
Defeating sin, ending pain,
Jecht and
this I can do.
Titus come from Xanarkand 1,000 years ago. So Titus is not real. He's a dream,
Even sacrificing.
possibly of his father. Except Jecht also didn't know all the things that Titus doesn't know, such as Faith Summoners, Yevon, any of that.
Alonso, let them pass.
Like the Machina War,
Summoner unite.
which would imply that
Your will
Jecht
is stronger than steel.
either is also a dream,
But even
or
the mightiest Ronso could
Jecht
not
and Titus come from a
overcome.
time much farther than 1,000 years ago, before the religion of Yevon and Lady Unalesca are a thing.
The sacred heights of Gagazet welcome you.
Because they also don't know about summons and the faith, but Unalesca clearly had summons when she defeated Sin. So this storyline is a mess. That's what I'm getting out of this. If you look at it on the surface, it's fine. Young or old, Ronso all warriors. All must protect Sacred Mountain. Ronso sharpen fangs until day of death. But, like, if you look at it on the surface, it's fine. But if you try to delve into it,
It is as I thought.
it is a giant mess.
Yevon is in turmoil. Micah tries to keep it whole, but it crumbles around him.
Look, I couldn't care less what happens to Yevon.
Because you are not of this world. To those who truly
Ho-ho.
believe in the teachings, a time of much pain is coming.
No. Well, I mean, yes, pain is in the next game, but... Sacred Heights of God Gazette, shun the weak. Use Ronso weapons. Sure, what you got? Okay. I've already got one of those. In fact, I've got one that can also capture monsters. I will buy this one. Yeah, these HP plus 10% are not exciting. To Ronso, losing Horn is greatest disgrace. But Hornless Kamari returned to Mountain. Why? Her husband was the first final Aeon, starting the cycling of sacrificing a guardian. And maybe she was the first summoner? But what did she summon? If the other faiths weren't around to provide the Aeons to summon. Like, how did she know she was a summoner? Because what we know about the Aeon, what we know about the Faiths, is that they have contracts with the people, the summoners that come to them. They essentially have verbal contracts, soul-binding contracts.
Small voice, small frame, but a will that towers over Gagazet.
So, like, I don't... Like, on the surface, the storyline is fine. There's very few holes, surface level. It's when you begin to actually, like, dig into what it means to be all these things, except Jecht and Titus don't know that they exist. But Titus, we know, is a figment of somebody's dream, possibly his father's. I don't remember that part. But there's also implications. I want to say that his father was a real person back in the day. And if that's the case, how does he not know these things? Is he just so self-absorbed that he doesn't know them?
Haven't you bothered us enough?
Summoner may pass. Guardians may pass. Kimari not pass. Kimari shame Ronso brothers. Kimari forget his birth.
Probably.
His people forget his mountain, little Ronso. Weakling Ronso.
But that's kind of the whole part of what we're doing here, is, you know, trying to
If you will climb,
pick apart these games on a more critical
I
level.
must prove my
But,
strength.
wow, that is the most coherent, like, straightforward sentence he's ever said.
You not forget who took your horn. Never forget.
Kimari never beat Brother Biran. Never win.
This time, I win. I will win.
Why you?
It's
This
okay.
some kind of Ronso thing?
Kimari problem.
Not like, that's just, we're not doing like hard, like deep, in-depth critiques. It's just, you know, just looking at these games with a little bit more of a critical eye, because, well, sometimes a game deserves to be picked apart a little bit to try and pull out some of these elements. Now, that's not saying that not the weapon I wanted. What's the one I want? Is that the one I want? Or is it the Force? It's the Force Lance. That's the one I want. Because, I mean, people always pick apart, like, good games. Like, or not just good games, but bad games. Like, those are the ones that people usually, like, tear apart. But there's nothing saying you can't critique a good game as well. And sometimes, like, when I was critiquing... I thought we got, What for? Like when we were talking about, 8. God damn. 8 is a game that I hated 100%. I wouldn't. If you had asked me before playing it on this stream if I would have touched 8 in my life, the answer would have been no. Never. Not since I first played it forever ago. It just wouldn't have happened. Hey, critiquing bad games is fine too, especially when you're going through a whole series. Like, it's not... You can't just critique, especially a game in a series, out of context. At least you shouldn't. The context of the game matters. Right? So, playing through all these Final Fantasy games, what we've seen is that I would rather play some of the lesser titles on the Final Fantasy lineup than... I hate you guys. Than a lot of games out there. There are a lot of games that are so bad that I should never touch them. And probably won't. You know what? Yeah, we'll just use a high potion here.
This is the strength.
Ooh, Mighty Guard. Thank you! Best ability. I really hate this fight. Haha! Give me that level 3 key sphere. Fool. Bad games need critiquing, good games need critiquing. Oh, this theme is... I will never downplay... There are some songs in Final Fantasy that are better than others. But the composers that they get for these games are pretty much always on point. Haha, give me some of that tiny bits of HP. Scan, not worth it. Okay, let's try lowering their luck. Now let's steal from you. Also a level 3 key sphere. That's good. This game... So this game is a little bit on both sides of the fence of the good-bad argument. There are a lot of good things with this game. Primarily, I would say, mechanically. This game is very good mechanically. Actually, it's excellent mechanically. But it has its problems, and some of those problems are the deeper you dig into the storyline, the less coherent it is. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Every game lives and dies on its strengths and weaknesses. And sometimes your strength is your mechanics. Some games, their strength is their storytelling. Some games, it's their characters or their art style, or it all depends on kind of what the development team... Yes, I got... Did I use it on him? Oh shit. I know I got Thrust Kick and Mighty Guard. Mighty Guard being the most important one. Which is the only reason why I'm not dead right now. But see, where was I going with that tangent? Some games it's their art style, some games it's their mechanics, storytelling, character design. It all depends on what the development team was going for, what the direction was for the game. And B, what we get out of it. We should hopefully be getting entertainment. And possibly a moral, depending on if that's what they're trying to tell, or like, so our enjoyment should be on one of those key features, the art style, the mechanics, the storytelling. Those should be where we get our enjoyment. But they may also have things like like this game clearly is setting up, I don't know if I would call it a moral per se, but definitely like the thought that don't blindly follow religion. At least think about it.
Summoner, we Ronso will stop pursuers from temple.
Thank you. Like, hell, even these guys, Biran and
Long ago,
what's his name? Yankee. Like, they
Kimari crush enemies standing before.
they are clearly set up here to
I thank you.
be the
Ronso will shine your statue.
like the true followers of this religion who
But I fear that no one will
take
make
it
a
to
statue for a traitor such as
an
I.
extreme that is not
Then Ronso will make
following the line. They're not. It's not towing
That
the religious line,
wonderful.
as it were. Whereas the Guado follow Seymour because he is their leader, regardless
I wanted to
of
see
what
Yuna's
he
statue
does or
too,
says.
But I wanted to see it with Yuna by my side.
Wow, that was spoken really quickly. And up until Seymour's complete betrayal and Micah's betrayal as well, Waka is definitely like the hook, line, and sinker of the religious line. Everything they say, everything they do, he is in full agreement with it until he is forced into seeing it from a different perspective.
Summoner Yuna.
Yes, Biran?
Is it this time?
Aww, they're honoring us. I think. Is anyone else getting flashbacks to the Song of the Mountain from The Hobbit? No? Just me? Alright. I'll go sit in my nerd corner then. Well, if you ever watched the first part of The Hobbit again, think about it. Ooh, a Bandersnatch. That is very nice. I've always liked that as an enemy name. Bandersnatch. Oh, yeah. Forgot about these ones. They're bastards. Yeah, Bandersnatch. I don't know the actual, like, mythos behind what a Bandersnatch is, but it's a really good enemy name. Hey, Waka. Feeling a little down? Come on. Oh, just grenades. Couple of... That's gonna suck. Only 3 points of strength and 200 hit points for this branch over here. Oh well. We'll get it. Wait, why didn't I get that hit point one? What was wrong with me? That wouldn't surprise me. They always play kind of fast and loose with creature names in Final Fantasy games. Alright, can we defeat this monster and not get killed from it? Alright, Waka. It's up to you, my friend. First off, let's get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of the imp. Okay, so counters don't cause them to grow in this game. That's good to know. It's very good to know, actually. Alright, now we get to see, with no turning back, if Waka can pull it off. Nope. Alright, well. Waka? I hate to put you on the spot like this, man, but, we need a critical. Thank you. At least we got one grenade. At least we got one. Okay. Yeah, I think Waka should be able to do it on his own. Although these plants, if they're anything like the ones in, Good. Good, you freaking dodged it. Come on, grow bigger. Alright, we got one. Made this fight a little bit easier. Damn it. Alright, Waka, come on. Ooh, thank you. It's too bad Kamari can't capture himself.
These mark the graves of summoners and guardians who failed.
Well, that's, a little morbid. I mean, I don't know, it's not morbid. I mean, if we're trying to, like, you know, forget that Yuna is on this pilgrimage to hopefully not die, that becomes a little morbid, but in and of itself, I guess not. Oh, F. This is one of the ones that gets mean. Alright, we got plenty of grot. No, we'll delay the heck out of it. Nothing? Okay, well, definitely not what we fought. What we fought was like a dog. Okay. Well, we'll just have to take the counter hits. Oh, that was close. Thank you for looking that up, Kasan. Alright. Another one, huh? He's gonna psych himself. Oh, he's not. Not that it mattered, because he still did an F ton of damage. Slice and dice. That was kind of neat. I guess Titus was really the only one that needed anything there. All right. Oh, confusion. So lovely. Oh, good. They knocked him out of it. Wait, can I delay it? I can delay attack myself? Why would I do that? Can you be dark attacked sufficiently? No, because of course not. Because Waka can't dark attack anybody ever. Alright, we'll Dark Buster you then. Just hopefully keep those counter hits off. Nope. Well then. Get as much off of him in magic attacks as possible. Oh, nope. Oh, God, killing this guy is always by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Yes, I just used a nursery rhyme. Go to hell. I know there's someone out there critiquing me for it, even though you didn't say anything in chat. But now you will, because I brought it to attention. Oh, we were ambushed, you say? Well, I don't like being ambushed. Could we not? Whoa, F! Hey, Lulu.
Well then, what next?
That was not enough damage. Ice, huh? There we go. Ho ho! Nice work, Waka. Saved us a lot of grief there. And need to have Yuna heal people again. That's all she does these days. Ooh. I mean, he will, but... Oh god, yes. Please. Give me all the Albed potions. I eat them like candy. It's a problem. Like, a legit problem. Ah, grenades again. Ooh, we got a Mega Phoenix out of that. I think I'm gonna like grinding here. Broskosphere. Let's have a look.
Hello, Yuna. I hope you are well. I wonder how old you are now that you're watching this sphere. You must be very beautiful, like your mother. I wish I could see you. Oh, by the way, Jekt and Orin send their regards.
Do they?
So far, our journey has been very entertaining. Of course, it is a hard journey, but I have no regrets. It is the path I have chosen.
Good man.
Yuna, when you have grown, you will have to find your own path. Do what
Dude,
you must
Jekt.
do the way you want to do it.
Put some shoes on, man. What the hell is your problem? And a shirt.
To those who do, listen close, Yuna. Your future is yours to make. Live the way you want to.
How does he not have
Whatever way that
frostbite?
may be, you have your father's full support. Yuna, I will always be with you.
Jack shot into the camera. Banishing Blade. Ah, yes, the crisscrossing paths. In their team, yes. Because we have Kamari, who may be our only properly dressed person. In that he has fur. Yes. Although, everyone on our team is wearing shoes. Bonus to us. Yeah, Orin's wearing some sort of, like, leather or hide plate under his, yukata. And Braska's wearing what appears to be several layers of a heavy ceremonial robe. And then Jekta's wearing shorts. And only shorts. Oh no, there's also a metal necklace. Yeah, we can't forget that metal necklace.
Summoners that die up here aren't sent to the far plane.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just
Who
like
would send them? They die alone.
just like Titus's
Many have
Gold?
become fiends,
gauntlet?
and they may want Yuna's company.
Well, Yuna will be fine.
You're right.
I think it's supposed to be gold. It's kind of hard to tell. Bow. Ooh, damn. That was a hit and a half. Good job, Waka. Alright, we're gonna need to find a save point here pretty soon. Every time Waka talks in combat, talks in combat, it hurts. So yeah, this weird little dog guy right here, he's a Bandersnatch. Apparently. This is a Nidhogg, which if I recall is a kind of a dragon. So that works. And it's not even that John DiMaggio is like doing a bad job of Waka, it's just that the lines he's been given to read for the in-combat lines, for the most part, are really dumb. That after effect for that the sword makes, they needed to work on that. Thank you, Kamari. Ow. And more ows. Okay, got it. Hey, Waka, could you do something about all this? Thank you. Oh, these lovely Albed potions. Just want to rub them all over me. Just want to pour all these tiny little, what I'm assuming are tiny little vials, into like a bathtub and just luxuriate in it. Hi?
Greetings, Lady Yuna. My name is Wands.
We have met several times before, right?
Have we?
Not running today?
I have to carry on my brother's business. You've met him, I think. Owaka the
Ah,
Traitor,
aha.
merchant extraordinaire.
Wait, you're that guy's brother?
My brother wanted to come help Lady Yuna, but the temple imprisoned him for helping traitors.
Wow.
They imprisoned him because of us?
He
Dude,
doesn't regret it.
Owaka.
In fact, he told me, before they took him, don't worry about me, just go help Lady Yuna.
Dude, Owaka is a bro.
Why would your brother do this for us?
Well,
We invested him.
this isn't the time for talking. There's dealing to be done. Welcome to Owaka's.
Sleep Silence Dark Touch. Wow, okay. Ooh, ooh, you don't say. He's finally starting to get the good stuff in. And with it comes the price. Alright, well, we aren't using this. We never touched this. We never touched that. Or that. Or that. Or that. Nope. Never used it. We'll keep you around in case we want to upgrade from defense +3 to defense +5. Rod of Fire, not likely. Sleep Touch, nope. Nope. Alright, what are we using now? HP and Silent Ward, huh? That's not bad. SOS Protection and SOS Shell. Alright, well then, let's see here. Nope. 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 Definitely not. Piercing and Distill ability. No. No. Gonna have to think on that one. Do we actually want that or not? Heat Lance, Ice Lance, Tidal Spear, Dream Lance, Dusk. So what has this got? Piercing, Sensor, and Strength +10. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Force Lance. Stone, the soft amulet, or armlet might be better. SOS haste? Why would we want haste? I think... So we'll get rid of the Onyx, we'll get rid of this one, because I think it's easier for us to add Stone Ward than it is defense +10%. Okay, well, we're gonna keep that switch hitter around. I like that one of your potential options is just a regular blitz ball. Anything special about it? Not a goddamn thing. We're getting there. We're like, look at our money. And we've apparently been holding on to a lot of stuff. Ooh. Death touch. Twice all the way through, although my second time was not exactly what I would call a typical playthrough in that, damn it. Oh well. We need the money anyway. I had... It was the only game I could really play, so I just continued to play it until I had a perfect file, which was, I'm estimating, somewhere around 4,000 hours, because it was from when I bought, about 3 months in from when I bought my PS2, my original PlayStation 2, until about the day that I bought my slim PS2, which was about 3 years of playing. Maybe it was like 2.5 years of playing Final Fantasy X on a single file. But that last little bit was all just like grinding and trying to make every character perfect, trying to figure out a strategy for Omega Weapon. All that, like, super past endgame stuff. Can accidentally defeat the final boss. Well, now that I, like, look back on it, I definitely could have used that time far more constructively. No. Just the States. I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico, but just the States. Never lived anywhere else. Never played games anywhere else. I'm kind of boring that way. Never had any consoles modded to the point where we could... Actually, that's not true. My Xbox... When I eventually got an Xbox, which was far too late for the rest of my friends to enjoy, or to not make fun of me. We modded that guy, and I was able to play international games on that one, but up until then, just USA games. Oh no, I'm playing the remaster right now. Is the remaster the international version? I guess it would be, because it was released on Steam, so it'd have to be the international version. They wouldn't just release the US version on Steam. At least I wouldn't hope not. Oh, we're just looking for a save point at this point. Because we're already past our normal ending time. But, hey, that's fine. I'm willing to hang out here and play as long as it takes for us to get to that save point. Although we're about to... Do we have all the monsters for this area already? God dang, that hurts. Come on, guys. You're supposed to be good at this job. You all have really high stats at this point. Depends on where our next save point is. That's all that I'm really worried about. Hey, Twan72, thank you for the follow, sir. Really? Well, we'll at least get rid of a bomb. Grenade, whatever you want to call them. Thank you, Titus. Jesus, what is wrong with you? Alright, Kamari, can you please... just do something with these two hooligans? Why did I ever put them on a team together? All they're gonna do is joke around and knock a blitzball around. What was I thinking? Alright. Yep, Fyra. Hurts a little bit, but not too bad. Bam! Thank you. Thank you, Mr. DiMaggio, for... making this a little bit better. Thank you, Titus. Thank you so much for not being a fail. Oh, damn. Waka, can you do that every time, please? No, because we need to get your luck way the hell up. But... Alright. Oh, is this the critical battle? I don't know if they're in this or not. Essentially how we do things on this channel is we play the game and we get what we can, but we're by no means going like out of our way for the 100%. At least not on this completion. We're going through it as you would expect someone to reasonably go through the game on their first attempt. Like, they're gonna figure some stuff out that they might not otherwise. They're gonna... without a strategy guide, some of the secrets and hints. But most first-time players are not going to go, like, far out of their way. Like, I'm certainly not going to shoot for an Omega weapon run. I mean, I'll probably end up getting, I probably won't get Magus Sisters, just because they're actually, like, pretty tough to defeat. But we'll probably get all the other Aeons. We might get a couple of the ultimate weapons. Just kind of depends on how things go. But it's mainly just looking at these with a slightly critical bent to our perspective. Oh, is Penance the other secret boss aside from Omega? The one that was added later? Or at least not in the original US release? Because if so... Oh, yeah. Now, I've heard about that BS. I might give it a shot when we're done with the series. God, Omega was a... What are you? What are you doing over here? Omega was a giant pain in the ass. What I recall doing from Omega is... essentially running around with like a chicken with my head cut off and trying my damnedest to just like piece together a coherent plan, which involved first off opening with Kumari and Orin and Titus. No, Kumari, Yuna, and Titus. And immediately using Titus to cast Histaga, and then Kumari for Mighty Guard, and then pulling Kumari out and bringing in someone else on his second turn. It was essentially like the first 3 actions were all set up, and then it was all just like chaining overdrives back to back to back. Again, making sure all the summons get in, making sure all the characters get a hit in. Okay, that clearly looks like something should be there. And I must have tried like 4 times, even with what at the time was the ultimate party, including maximum luck, which is the hardest stat to maximize in this game. It was a giant pain in the ass. That's actually what took the majority of all those hours, was just getting the fortune or the luck spheres to replace all the ones that are already on the board to maximize characters. That took pretty much all of it, because they were a giant pain in the butt to farm. But, you know, 2002, when you're 14 and you can only play one video game because your system is busted and won't let you play anything else that you own. Waka? I'm sorry, man. This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt bad. That's not true. I could play one other game on my PS2, and that was Dynasty Warriors 3, but by the time that it broke, I had already mastered Dynasty Warriors 3. Every character was maxed out, had everybody's ultimate weapons, had all the best everything. Alright, so we are going to call tonight to an end, now that we've hit a save point. But before we go, I've got an announcement to make. Announcement number 1. Thank you to Twan72 for following the channel. Thank you very much, sir. You have put us one step closer to our goal of 50 followers, at which point we will have a bonus stream and giveaway where I will be playing Telltale's The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, giving away a copy of Telltale's The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, along with a copy of Psychonauts, and see if I can do it right this time. Hey, I did. 3 $20 Steam gift cards. But first we have to hit that goal of 50, but thanks to Twan72, we are that much closer. We're only 9 followers away from reaching that goal and having the awesome bonus stream and giveaway, which, once that is done, will open the door to more bonus streams without necessarily having benchmarks to hit first. Just, I mean, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but I've got a whole stack of PlayStation and PS2 games up on the top there that we will be going through at some point. Well, maybe not all of them. Because we're going through 10 now, and 12's up there as well as 9, so we don't need to revisit those games once we start doing that. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff there. I've got some Onimushas, I've got the first 3 Metal Gear Solids, got a whole bunch of Gundam games, a whole bunch of Atlas games, so we'll have some fun with those. But first we got to hit that 50, and I want to thank you all very much for hanging out with me tonight. It's been a blast, having a lot of fun, and I especially want to thank those that participated in chat. Twan72, Kassan, Hi Mr. Henry, Viva la Revolution. Thank you all very much for hanging out with me tonight in chat and participating. Now, we will be back with more Final Fantasy X on Monday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know where all of you live, otherwise I would try and do the math to figure out what that time that would be. But I hope you will join me, where we will pick back up on Mount Gagazet, heading over this ridge and into Zanarkand. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and have a good night.